Our word of the week this week is interesting because the modern derivative of this word has come to mean something very different than what the word meant in Koine in the first century. So what is our word of the week? It is dogma. And dogma means a decree, an ordinance, a decision, or a command. Whereas the modern interpretation of dogma in English, it usually means a rigid set of beliefs. It's important to understand that dogma in the New Testament pretty much never means a set of beliefs. Rather, it means a decree, an ordinance, a decision, or a command. Let's start out in Luke chapter 2, verse 1. This is the ESV with the Koine supplied. In those days, a decree, dogma, went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. So this is the census that prompted Joseph and Mary to travel from Nazareth to Bethlehem to participate in the census in his familial birthplace. And so the decree here is the official requirement that's communicated, right? So the decree is we're going to do this census and everybody has to go to their family hometown. The decree both authorizes the census and makes the census known to people, makes the requirement known to people. Dogma, the decree here. Next up, Acts chapter 17. We're going to read verses 6b and 7 so that we get a little context, but we don't need the first half of verse 6. These men who have turned the world upside down have come here also, and Jason has received them, and they are all acting against the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, Jesus. And the decrees here is ton dogmaton. So decrees plural. And what are they doing? By calling Jesus a king, they're violating the decrees of Caesar. Caesar has declared that in a pluralistic society that is open to multiple religions, the one thing a religion can't do is to deny the supremacy of Caesar, to deny the divinity of Caesar. And so Christianity is on the outs in the early days because they won't acknowledge that there's a God other than God, and they're even calling Jesus a king, so they're putting Jesus on the same level as Caesar, and that violates Caesar's decrees. Next up, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 14. For he himself is our peace, who has made us both one, and has broken down in his flesh the dividing wall of hostility by abolishing the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that he might create in himself one new man in place of the two, so making peace. So commandments expressed, we're told, in ordinances, en dogmasin, in ordinances. Commandments laid out in specific decrees. Thou shalt not X, thou shalt not Y, thou shalt not Z, right? Specific ordinances to be observed and to be kept. Finally, we're looking at Colossians chapter 2, verse 14. By canceling the record of debt that stood against us with its legal demands, this he set aside, nailing it to the cross. So I want to look at this whole phrase in Greek because it's very interesting. Exelapsos, he canceled. Now we get an interesting phrase. To kerograpphon, what did he cancel? To kerograpphon, the handwritten thing, tois dogmasin, with decrees or with ordinances. Jump back to kath hemon, against us. So what did he cancel? He canceled a handwritten thing that was made up of decrees or ordinances, and it stood kath hemon, against us. What could that possibly be? The the record of claims against us that was noted by hand, like a ledger of debts? That's a possibility. Is it the thing that God wrote on tablets of stone with his own finger, the handwritten thing that is comprised of ordinances and decrees? Is it the Ten Commandments? That's a possibility. Is it the specific record of wrongdoings that someone has done? It could be. I don't know. This is a question that frankly is above my pay grade and probably yours too. The challenge is taking this language that he's used that is so precise, the handwritten thing with ordinances or decrees which is against us, and he set that aside. He did away with that thing. That requires some real wrestling, and that kind of wrestling, fortunately or unfortunately, is not the purpose of this channel. We're here to look at what the text says, and it's up to you to go wrestle with what the text means. So what's our word of the week? It is dogma, and that doesn't mean a rigid set of beliefs the way we use it in English today. It means a decree, an ordinance, a decision, or a command. And I hope you enjoyed our exploration of that word. If you did, let me know in the comments. And until next time, Charis Kai Irene Humin, grace and peace to you.